Welcome back to the Archive Network. Aurelius here, with Malik, curators of the Civilization Archive. We left ancient Egyptian civilization last time at the end is now approaching. Today we pick up where we left off. The sun sets over the temples of Karnak and Luxor. Shadows stretch across the processional avenues, and it feels as if time itself is holding its breath. Once, these stones echoed with life, pharaohs in their regalia, priests chanting sacred hymns, and festivals that filled the air with joy. Now, there's only silence. These sights remind us of Egypt's grandeur, but also of its fragility. We stand here, witnesses to the rise and fall of empires, contemplating the weight of history.
Aurelius, that silence is more than just absence. It speaks volumes about a civilization in decline, a culture that once thrived, but is now haunted by its own ghosts. The grandeur you mention is overshadowed by desperation. We can't ignore the suffering that lies hidden beneath those grand columns. Think of the people who lived here, their hopes and dreams crushed. Their stories deserve to be told, not buried under the weight of history.
The cracks in the foundation become all too clear. As succession crises erupt, we see generals and royal heirs scrambling for power, each one believing they are the rightful ruler. The very symbols of kingship start to lose their potency, fading like echoes in a vast hall. We can almost taste the ambition in the air, igniting chaos and betrayal among those who should stand united. It's a familiar pattern, and history shows us that empires often unravel in their own hubris.
But let's be clear, this chaos is not just a result of ambition. It reflects a system where the voices of ordinary people disappear in the clamor for power. Those soldiers marching through palace courtyards, they're not just props in a grand narrative. They're everyday citizens caught in the crossfire of elite struggles, often forced to choose sides. Each of them has a story, a family waiting at home, and dreams that get lost in the shuffle of political games.
You raise a valid point, and we can't ignore the signs. The markets are certainly reflecting that turmoil, aren't they? Grain yields are dropping and prices are climbing. Bread and simple goods are becoming scarce. Merchants who once filled the streets with laughter now shout with unease, their faces drawn tight with worry. This economic collapse isn't just a random event. It's a harbinger of greater unrest on the horizon. We can only wonder what comes next.
And that unrest breeds fear. The anxiety you mention isn't just about the economy. It seeps into the core of our daily lives. People start hoarding their wealth, worry about what tomorrow might hold. It's not just the pharaohs who feel the weight of this change. Every family along the Nile is affected. Parents look into their children's eyes and wonder if they can provide for them. They're grasping at stability, hoping for a better future in uncertain times.
Yet amidst this backdrop, artisans still create. They carve intricate amulets, paint elaborate coffins, and children laugh and play by the riverbanks. Life persists, even as shadows grow longer and the weight of history presses down. There's something undeniably resilient about that. It's a reminder that no matter how dark things seem, the human spirit finds a way to endure. We see this in the everyday moments, the small acts of defiance against the march of time.
Resilience is vital, but let's be clear, it doesn't change the harsh reality on the ground. The priests of Ammon are rising, amassing not just power but incredible wealth. They're becoming economic titans, overshadowing even the pharaohs. It's hard to watch as this shift in power unfolds. It's a transformation that reshapes Egyptian society, often leaving the common people behind. The elite are gaining, while those who once thrived are now struggling to survive in this new order.
The priests gain considerable influence, expanding their temple compounds and drawing in pilgrims from far and wide. They command vast resources, and their rituals resonate across the land like thunder, reinforcing their power. But we must remember, beneath this new order, the old gods seem to be fading into obscurity. This is the paradox of power. As one group rises, another inevitably must fall. It's a cycle as old as time, and we're witnessing it once more.
And still, The threats from outside loom larger every day. The Libyans to the west, the sea peoples raiding our coasts, and the Nubian armies marching in from the south. All of them are testing Egypt's endurance. But this fight isn't just about power. It's a struggle for survival. Families are torn apart, communities are shaken, and the spirit of our people is being pushed to its limits. It's the common folks who bear the brunt of this turmoil, not just the rulers.
True, the challenges are formidable. Yet, within that turmoil, moments of hope arise. The Kushite kings reunite Egypt, restoring temples and reviving rituals that had long been forgotten. For a fleeting moment, we witness the old splendor return, a glimmer of what once was. But just as quickly, the tides turn again, and new conquerors emerge, eager to claim the land. History doesn't pause. It keeps cycling through triumph and despair as we watch the same patterns unfold.
Hope can feel so fleeting. The Assyrians came in, then the Persians, each imposing their will on our land. It's not just about who rules. It changes how people live, how they see themselves. The ancient traditions may bend under this pressure, but they won't completely break. You can still sense the spirit of Egypt, flickering like a candle in the darkness. It's there in the stories we tell and in the roots we hold on to, reminding us of who we truly are.
As twilight descends over the sands of time, the legacy of Egypt certainly isn't lost on us. Even as the great pharaohs fade into history, their influence continues to ripple through the ages. The songs of the Nile still echo, patiently waiting for the dawn of a new era to unfold. This civilization, while altered and transformed, has not vanished into obscurity. We see traces of its grandeur in our world today, reminders that empires may change, but their stories endure.
That's where we leave it this time. Ancient Egyptian civilization continues. The story isn't finished yet. Find the full series on the Civilization Archive, part of the Archive Network. We'll be back with the next chapter.